Prepare to rethink everything you thought you knew. This is Mind Benders, your source for the most mind-twisting facts that will expand your understanding of the world. Let's bend some minds.
The hook and the enigma. What if I told you that your most cherished memories are fake? That your entire life, from your first steps to the words you are hearing right now, never actually happened? What if you and your consciousness didn't exist 5 seconds ago? It sounds like a paranoid delusion, the stuff of science fiction. But this is not a philosophical riddle. It is a terrifying paradox that emerges from the most fundamental laws of our universe. A conclusion so unsettling that it haunts the deepest corners of physics and cosmology. It suggests that statistically, you are almost certainly not who you think you are. You are not the product of billions of years of cosmic evolution. You are something else, something far stranger and far more temporary. Welcome to Mind Benders. Today, we are not just exploring a fringe theory. We are confronting a conclusion that arises directly from our best understanding of reality. We will journey to the edge of time and chaos to confront a concept known as the Boltzmann Brain. An idea so powerful, it threatens to shatter your perception of everything you have ever known, seen, or felt. The question we will be forced to answer is not what is real, but rather what is more likely. And the answer will change you. Part 2. The unbreakable rule of the cosmos. To understand this profound enigma, we must first understand the one unbreakable rule of the cosmos, the one law that governs everything from stars to steam engines to the cells in your body. It's the second law of thermodynamics. You may have heard of it by another name, entropy. Simply put, entropy is a measure of disorder. The second law states that in any isolated system, entropy, or disorder, can only increase over time. Things fall apart. Order decays into chaos. It is the universe's ultimate one-way street. Think of a hot cup of coffee. The heat is an ordered state, fast-moving molecules concentrated in one place. Left alone, that heat will always dissipate into the cooler, more disordered air of the room. The coffee will never spontaneously grow hotter by stealing heat from the room. That would be a decrease in entropy, a move from disorder to order, and the universe simply does not allow it. Think of your bedroom. It's easier for it to get messy than it is for it to get clean. A pile of clothes on the floor is a high entropy state. A neatly folded stack in a drawer is a low entropy state. It takes a constant input of energy, your energy, to fight against the tide of disorder and create that neat stack. This relentless march from order to chaos is what we call the arrow of time. It's the reason we remember the past but not the future. The reason eggs break but don't unbreak. Every process, every event, every moment of your life is a step towards a more disordered state. This law is considered the most fundamental in all of physics. Sir Arthur Eddington, one of the great astronomers of the 20th century, said, "If your theory is found to be against the second law of thermodynamics, I can give you no hope. There is nothing for it but to collapse in deepest humiliation." It is the engine of cosmic destiny, pushing the entire universe towards an ultimate fate known as heat death, a final, uniform, featureless state of maximum entropy. No stars, no life, no change, just a cold, dark, and eternally disordered void. It's a bleak but scientifically sound destination. This is the universe we think we live in, a universe that began in a state of incredible order and is now slowly but surely falling apart. But what if this assumption is wrong? Part 3. The flaw in creation. And here we arrive at the first profound crack in our understanding. The second law of thermodynamics creates a monumental problem when we look back to the beginning of everything, the Big Bang. According to our best models, the universe began 13.8 billion years ago in a state of incredibly low entropy. It was unimaginably hot and dense, yes, but it was also exquisitely ordered. All the energy and matter of the cosmos was packed into a singularity, a perfectly uniform starting point. Think about what this means. The universe began in the most ordered, lowest entropy state possible. From that initial perfection, it has been unwinding ever since, like a tightly wound clock slowly ticking down. But the second law only says that entropy must increase. It doesn't explain why it started so low in the first place. This is arguably the single greatest mystery in all of cosmology. It's like walking into a room and finding a perfectly assembled house of cards. You know that a slight breeze will knock it down into a disordered pile. But how did it get so perfectly assembled to begin with? Who or what stacked the deck? To say the low entropy beginning of our universe is unlikely is the greatest understatement ever made. The odds of a universe like ours spontaneously appearing with such a high degree of initial order are so infinitesimally small that the number is practically indistinguishable from zero. If you were to pick a state for the universe at random, you would overwhelmingly pick a high entropy state, a disordered, chaotic mess. You would never pick the pristine, orderly state of the Big Bang. And yet, here we are, living in a vast, structured cosmos filled with galaxies, stars, planets, and life. A universe that has been coasting on its initial, impossible order for 13.8 billion years. This is the paradox. The universe we see around us should not exist. It is a statistical impossibility. For decades, physicists have wrestled with this. They've proposed multiverses, cyclical models of creation and destruction, all trying to explain away this one inconvenient fact. But in the 19th century, one brilliant, troubled physicist stumbled upon an alternative explanation. An idea so radical and so disturbing that it turns the entire problem on its head. He didn't try to explain the order, he proposed that the order we see isn't real, at least not in the way we think. Part 4, The Promised Payoff and the Statistical Ghost. His name was Ludwig Boltzmann. He was the father of statistical mechanics and one of the chief architects of our understanding of entropy. He was a man who thought in terms of probabilities, of atoms and molecules colliding over vast stretches of time. And he performed a thought experiment that would echo into the future and become science's most terrifying secret. Boltzmann understood entropy. He knew that the universe trends towards disorder, but he also knew that this was a probabilistic law, not an absolute one. In the grand casino of the cosmos, given enough time, even the most unlikely events can happen. Imagine a box full of gas molecules, all bouncing around randomly. This is a high entropy, disordered state. But if you wait long enough, trillions upon trillions of years, just by pure chance, all of those molecules might momentarily find themselves huddled in one corner of the box, creating a brief pocket of order. It's wildly improbable, but not impossible. The universe has a lot of time to roll the dice. Boltzmann took this logic to its mind-bending conclusion. He reasoned that in a universe that exists for a near infinite amount of time, random fluctuations will inevitably occur. Pockets of order will spontaneously emerge from the chaos of high entropy equilibrium. And this is where it gets deeply personal. We are about to reveal the core of this paradox, the part that challenges your very identity. Because Boltzmann realized that it's not just simple things like gas molecules that can fluctuate into existence. Given enough time, anything can. The question he asked was this: what is the easiest way to create the appearance of a low-entropy world? Is it to fluctuate an entire universe of 100 billion galaxies with 13.8 billion years of coherent history, all evolving according to precise physical laws? Or is it to fluctuate something much, much smaller, something just complex enough to think it sees a universe? This is the promised payoff. This is the horrifying alternative to a 13.8 billion-year-old universe. This is the Boltzmann Brain. Part 5. The overwhelmingly probable illusion. The logic is as inescapable as it is terrifying. Let's compare two scenarios. Scenario A. An entire, vast, low-entropy universe like ours fluctuates into existence, complete with a consistent history, physical laws, distant galaxies, and an Earth that evolves conscious observers like you who can look out and appreciate it all. The statistical improbability of this event is a number so large it's meaningless. It's a 1 followed by billions of zeros. Scenario B. Out of the random chaos of a high-entropy universe, a much smaller, simpler object fluctuates into existence. Just a single self-aware entity. A brain, for instance. Complete with a full set of implanted memories of a life it never lived, and a sensory apparatus that hallucinates a vast external universe that isn't really there. Now, which of these two events is more likely? The mind-bending truth is that scenario B is not just more likely, it is overwhelmingly more likely. It is astronomically, incomprehensibly, fundamentally more probable. Creating a single conscious brain with false memories is a far smaller and therefore far more probable statistical fluctuation than creating an entire universe for that brain to live in. According to the cold, hard mathematics of statistical mechanics, for every one real observer who evolved in a genuine low-entropy universe, there should be an untold number of these solitary, ephemeral Boltzmann brains who flicker into existence for a brief moment before dissolving back into chaos. This means that if you are a self-aware entity, the odds are stacked against you being a real person. The statistical probability is that you are a Boltzmann brain. You just popped into existence a moment ago, fully formed with a complete set of false memories. Your memory of your childhood, your family, the meal you ate this morning, all of it is an illusion, a necessary byproduct to make your consciousness coherent. The universe you perceive around you is a hallucination. In a few moments, your brief, improbable existence will end, and you will dissolve back into the disordered equilibrium from which you came. This is not a metaphor. It is the direct, logical consequence of applying our most trusted physical laws to the cosmos. If a universe can exist for long enough, it will be dominated by these spontaneously formed hallucinating observers, not by real ones like us. The fact that you are here thinking these thoughts is, according to the math, evidence that you are likely a phantom. Part 6. The Observer's Trap and the Final Question. So, are you a Boltzmann brain? The immediate and most terrifying part of the paradox is that you can never prove you aren't. Any evidence you gather, any experiment you conduct, any person you ask would all be part of the hallucination. Your consciousness is trapped inside a perfect, internally consistent illusion. It seems like a philosophical dead end, a piece of intellectual horror. But in a strange twist, this bizarre thought experiment has become a powerful tool for modern cosmologists. They turn the logic around. They say, we know we are not Boltzmann brains. We experience a stable, coherent reality that persists over time. We make predictions, and the universe confirms them. This seems to be a poor description of a random fluctuation. Therefore, any cosmological model that predicts that Boltzmann brains should be common must be wrong. If a theory about the multiverse or the eternal inflation of the cosmos results in a universe where these phantom observers are more numerous than real ones, then that theory is thrown out. It's called the measure problem, and it's one of the hottest battlegrounds in theoretical physics. Our own seemingly stable existence has become the ultimate reality check. The fact that we are not living in a chaotic, flickering reality of a Boltzmann brain is used as evidence that our universe must be special in some way that we don't yet understand. Our consciousness is the clue that something is missing from our theories. And this leaves us with the final, profound thought that will echo long after this video ends. We are faced with two possibilities, each more mind-bending than the last. Possibility 1. The laws of physics as we know them are correct, in which case you are almost certainly a fleeting hallucination, a statistical ghost in the machine of a chaotic universe. Your life is a lie. Possibility 2. You are real. Your life, your memories, and the universe are all genuine. But if that is true, it means there is a deep, fundamental flaw in our understanding of time, entropy, and creation. It means the universe is governed by some unknown principle that actively prevents this statistical horror, a principle we have yet to even imagine. So the next time you look up at the night sky or reflect on a memory from your past, ask yourself this question. Am I a 13.8 billion year journey of stardust, evolution, and experience? Or am I a cosmic accident, a momentary flicker of thought in an endless void, imagining it all? The chilling truth is, science cannot give you the answer. It can only show you the odds, and the odds are not in your favor.
The world is full of fascinating paradoxes, isn't it? We hope today's facts truly bent your mind. If you're ready for more daily revelations that challenge the norm, subscribe to Mindbenders. Don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss a new video. Until next time, keep questioning.